Okay, so hello there. This is Anna, and this is episode 11 of Fox and Thoughts. I stopped doing the weekly Fox and Thoughts because it just wasn't working out. Some weeks I just didn't have enough thoughts to make a video out of. Maybe I could have done like a 1-minute video or something, but I don't do that, so. Anyway, so this episode has some lighthearted stuff in it. It has some deep stuff in it. I'm going to get into the deeper stuff in the beginning so that we can kind of get it over with. Yeah. Anyway, so this is like a podcast without the pod or the cast. I don't even know what that means. It's just a random collection of thoughts and stuff. As I said, it's going to be some lighthearted stuff and some serious stuff. I put the serious stuff in the beginning. Yeah. I don't have a script, so we're just gonna see where this goes. Actually, I feel like I haven't done a really talky, chatty thing with you guys for a while. But maybe it hasn't been that long for you. So, anyway, I just feel like I haven't done a proper one in a while. So, the first topic is writers don't have time, and that's the honest truth. So, I came upon this thought because, yeah, I really don't think writers have time. I mean, like, it seems like writers have time. Some writers have time. But we're writers. We can't just stop writing. We can't stop writing or stop working on whatever we're working on because that's like our life. So I looked up on YouTube, writer tubers, author tubers, and recent ones that have been uploaded recently or ones that have been uploaded within the year, and a lot of people haven't uploaded in like a lot of newer channels, like smaller channels. I looked at the smaller channels and they haven't uploaded in like 7 months or a year. And it seems like they had a consistent thumbnail system going, but they weren't able to continue the momentum. They have some subscribers, and I'm pretty sure those subscribers are their friends or people who forgot they've subscribed to those people. Sadly, that's the situation, I think. And I think they stopped uploading. This is just my speculations, okay? Because they don't have time. And if you're going to write and edit, now, their videos are different from my videos. They actually film themselves talking into a microphone, having all the vibes and the aesthetics and everything, and all that video editing takes time to do, I'm pretty sure. So they're either going to do that, have time to come up with a topic for a video, and some of them might even script their videos, and then they have to come up with the thumbnail, and then they have to edit it to the vibe and everything, and they might choose to do writing over that. Maybe they don't have other extra time to do things. The people who I see that do have time to be a full-time writer tuber, author tuber, they seem to be college students, or they've grown their channel from being a college student, and even when they graduated college or moved on, they now have a big enough channel that they can monetize and live off of, and they have sponsors because they're now a big channel because they grew it while they had time. Not to say that all college students have time. It depends on what you're doing for your, college classes and whatever, that you have that much time to do all that stuff. But yeah, I think most writers just don't have time to do all the other stuff. Like, what if you have a family to take care of? I mean, you're going to prioritize your family over making videos and editing, and you need to care for them because they need you. And anyway, I just think that writer tubers and author tubers who stop uploading after a while, they just don't have time. Or maybe it just got to them, stress, mental health issues, whatever, and they would rather write. That's what I'm guessing. That's what happens to, that's kind of why I chose this format for myself as a writer tuber slash author tuber, because it's easy to make these slides, and I just have a little wiggly avatar going on. I did commission these and had them created, and I just do the wiggly thing myself. I'm using PowerPoint slides. I just make it as easy on myself as I can, but also that it's, doable for me. Anyway, I just think writers don't have time, because I can be writing right now, or I could be making this video right now, right? So, but I'm choosing to make this video because I just want to talk, because writers are pretty lonely people. We just want to talk sometimes, I think. Anyway, I don't know where that thought went. Did it make sense? I'm just saying, I don't think that writers have time, and that's why they stop uploading sometimes. Anyway. So the next topic is actually, I was not going to talk about this anywhere, but after watching some other people's opinions on the situation and various opinions, and hearing about what the fans think and what people like me who aren't particularly fans or who have never read his books, what they think, people like me think, some general discussions around the topic. I've watched various videos up to this point. I watched with Cindy's video, which actually she went through the article on the allegations, and that's when I first learned about the severity of the situation, because I didn't know the severity of the situation until I watched Cindy's video. And maybe I'll link it in the description so you can go watch it if you want to, but I warn you, it's very triggering probably for many people, very graphic, so warning, okay? But she does do a really good job breaking it down and talking about the situation. So I will link her video below. And if you've guessed it, it's the Gaiman, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Neil Gaiman situation. So I wasn't going to talk about this because, it's controversial. And I don't really go into controversial things on this channel, but sometimes, I feel like this one I need to talk about because it's been on my mind and I haven't figured out what I want to do with this. So the topic that I'm going to talk about is, can you post reviews of books by authors who have done horrible things? And now this is posting the review knowing that the author has done the horrible thing. I mean, you can post a review of a book and you don't know the situation of the author. Like, I didn't know the situation of the author for Where the Crawdads Sing. And I posted a review about the book on Instagram, and then I saw the articles. And I'm like, oh, so she's not a particularly good person. And I didn't know that when I posted the review and also recommended the book. So this is after knowing the allegations, okay? The situation is, yes, the Gaiman situation. Okay, so I need to tell you exactly my situation when it comes to this situation. Where I'm coming from, okay? First of all, I am not a fan. And I'm not saying I'm not a fan because I don't like his books. I'm saying I'm not a fan. I just never read his books. I never read his books. I knew about him. I knew he was like some famous fantasy author, but I didn't really know anything about his books. And I didn't know, I watched the movie Coraline. I didn't know that it was written. I didn't know that it was even a book. Okay. That's how much I didn't know about Neil Gaiman. Okay. I have Ocean at the End of the Lane, and that's one of his books, right? I got it because I was just interested in it because it seemed like it was a very popular middle grade fantasy book. And I thought, oh, if it's a popular middle grade fantasy book, Ocean at the End of the Lane, I wonder what it's about, and so I'll get it. And I got that book about 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been 4 years ago, actually. So I didn't know it was by Neil Gaiman, and for some reason I didn't realize, even after all these years, that the author of the Ocean at the End of the Lane is this famous fantasy author. I don't know. I didn't care. And another thing about me is that I'm a mood reader. So even though I get the book, I might not be in the mood right away to read it. So it's been in my shelf for like 2-3 years, and I still haven't been particularly in the mood to read it. And then before my mood was ready, the allegations came out. And this became an issue for me in a way that I didn't expect it to be. Usually I don't really follow controversial author situations. Usually I'm really unaware of those things. I don't know, maybe I should be. Maybe it's better if I do, but I don't know. Anyway, so I usually post reviews on Instagram after I read a book. It's a short review. Basically, I just give a summary of the book, and then I give my subjective opinions, the negatives of the book, and I don't know what happened with my voice there. Negatives of the book and the positives of the book. So I just talk about those, and then I say overall if I liked it, and if I do recommend it, then I recommend it. But I usually don't outright say I recommend this book. I just said I liked it, or I didn't like it for these reasons, and you don't have to take my word for it. And I leave it as that. And let the people decide if they want to read it or not. You know, just because I rated a book like 2 stars or something, like it was very low rating, doesn't mean that everyone is going to agree with that. And so even if you see the 2-star rating, but you think, oh, but this book does sound interesting to me, then you can get it, right? So I usually don't say I highly recommend this book unless it's an absolute 5-star, no question, then I will recommend the book. This is my worry, okay? And I'm worrying before I even read the book. So I do a lot of worrying. My worrying happens beforehand, which isn't good, but I mean, I can't help it. That's the way I am. My worry is that what if I really like this book? What if it's a 5-star for me and I post a review on Instagram? I can't highly recommend it, right? Because I'm worried, should I not post a review of Ocean at the End of the Lane on Instagram? What if I read it and like it and it's a 5-star or something? Or if I do like it, should I tell people about the allegations and encourage them to look up about it and make their own decisions about whether or not to read the book? Should I not recommend the book to them because of what the horrible things that Gaiman has done in the past. And probably still doing today. I don't know. Allegedly, it's still all allegations. At this point, I haven't kept up with any of the recent stuff, but at this point, it's just allegations. Or if I do post a review of the book, I can tell people if they want to get the book, they can get it second-handed or go to the library if they want to read it, but not let Gaiman make money off of it. Yeah. Bleh. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I think maybe I should just not post a review on Instagram. Sometimes I think I'll just read the book. I will read the book. I mean, I am going to read the book at some point. I don't know when, but at some point I will read it. And at that point, I don't know when that's going to be, so I can't really say anything about that. But should I post a review at all? Should I post a review on Instagram? Should I post a review? Maybe I just not post a review on Instagram, but I post it somewhere else. Like maybe I have a blog. Maybe I post it on my blog instead. I don't do book reviews on my blog, but I could. But if I just do that one, then I should do others, right? Because it looks weird. I don't know what to do. Do I just read it and just stay silent about it? Or do I not be silent about that I've read and liked the book? Is it bad to like the book if the author did a horrible thing? I don't know. I like the movies Fantastic Beasts, and I know that if it like appears in a movie theater and I go watch it at a movie theater, it gives Rowling some pocket money, but if I rent the movie from a video rental place, not video, but, DVD rentals, because it's all DVDs now, from a rental, if I rent it, does it give her pocket money? I don't know, but I still like Fantastic Beasts, and I still like the Harry Potter movies. I've never read the books because, I don't know, I just didn't really get into it. But it's not the same situation, is it, with Gaiman? The Gaiman situation, the Rowling situation are two different situations. But in general, it's still about authors doing or saying saying horrible things and stuff. So, and there's been other authors that people have talked about in other videos. I can't remember exactly who they were, who have also done horrible things, but their books are well loved, and the people in those videos have said that this author is my favorite author, and I know he's done horrible things, but I still like his book, so that means it's okay to still like it. But they said they won't recommend it on their channel anymore. I guess maybe if you have a big channel, then maybe you wouldn't want to recommend it. And I have like over 1,000 followers on Instagram. So does that mean because it doesn't matter how much following you have, you can influence people. So if I am a moderately influency person, a book that I recommend on Instagram, someone will choose to buy and give the author money. So maybe I shouldn't even recommend the book. Should I not review? I don't know what to do. Do you guys have any ideas of what I should do? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be reading the book for a while. I mean, I'm just not in the mood. I'm in the mood of reading other things right now. So, I mean, I could become in the mood next month or next read. I could read the book, or I could read the book this year. I could read the book next year. Maybe it won't be another 5 years until I read the book. I don't know. I don't know the future. I'm a mood reader. So by the time I read the book, it might be that I am able to recommend it, but tell people to get it secondhand and go to the library so the author doesn't make money. I don't even know if I want to even talk about that on my Instagram, because I don't usually get into those things on my Instagram anyway. I'm just talking in circles at this point. I don't know what to do. I think it's okay to like the work, but not agree or like the author. But what if, I don't know. See, if the author is dead, then you don't have anything to worry about. Sort of. But if the author is still alive, like Rowling and Gaiman, they are still alive and kicking and gonna be alive and kicking for quite some time. Probably. So, what to do? Don't know. I don't know. Let's move on. Let's take a breather. Okay, let's just take a breather, all right? So, you let me know what you think I should do, what you would do, what your thoughts are. Have civil discussions in the comments. I don't think, like, you can tell people don't love this work because the author is horrible. You can't, like, dictate what other people can and can't do. But you can have opinions like, this is what I would do. That kind of thing is okay, I think. Am I making sense? I don't know. You know, I'm hungry. I'm going to drink some coffee. Keep hydrated. So I'm also going to drink some water. Drink some water from my water bottle. Okay, guys, let's get into something that's a little bit more lighthearted. Okay, just let's take a moment. Okay, all right. So, lighthearted stuff. Just sorry to put something so heavy in the beginning, but I needed to talk about it. I needed to get it off of my mind. Maybe it will help me. Maybe it will help you. I don't know. Anyway. So the next topic is random speculations about random things. I could have called this Reindeers, but you'll see why. So I was thinking about reindeers and Santa Claus for just some random reason. Well, it's not that random because some places in Japan, where I live, by the way, have gotten a lot of snow. So then I started thinking about Christmas songs. Who decided that reindeers can fly? So I was thinking about, Santa Claus. There's some speculations that he was actually a real saint or something. But at what point, because in different cultures, right, the Santa Claus comes to your door and, like, gives you a present if you've been good, or gives you coal if you've been bad. And then somehow it got mixed up with some other cultures, and now Santa Claus gives presents to children on Christmas Eve night. Somehow, all in one day, all in one night. Anyway, he's in a sleigh, and the reindeers are flying. At what point did he get a sleigh? I can understand if he gets a sleigh, okay? And I can understand if maybe the sleigh is pulled by horses or reindeers. But at what point did someone decide that, okay, the reindeers fly? I want to know what that is. what is going on with the flying reindeers. Who decided that reindeers are gonna fly? I don't have answers. I just random speculations and stuff. So I think that maybe somebody decided that, you know what? Santa Claus is magical. I bet that in order to get around the world, the entire world, I mean, how else are you going to do that except fly? He has to get over all that ocean too. So somebody decided that, you know what? I think Santa Claus, I think he flies. And then it just spread. The story of Santa Claus flying with reindeers and sleigh just spread around the world, and now everyone knows that Santa Claus rides a sleigh and reindeers fly. I can't say everyone. Many people probably know that. I don't know, does he? The only time I know that he's depicted as not flying is in Australia because he gets on a surfboard, but maybe he... What if it's like, in Disney's movie, Little Mermaid, King Triton? Yes. King Triton is riding in a chariot driven by dolphins. Maybe that's Santa Claus. What if that's Santa Claus and in Australia, that's how he arrives? Like, if it wasn't a surfboard, then that's how he arrives in a chariot pulled by dolphins. That's like the equivalent of sleigh pulled by flying reindeer. And that's how he travels the ocean. Maybe Santa Claus is actually King Triton. Maybe they're the same thing in Australia. I don't know. It's just some speculation. Random stuff to lighten the mood. Okay. So another random thought was that the other day, this was 2 days ago, I noticed that, Lady Gaga has a new song out called Abracadabra. I listened to it. It's very nice. It's very fun, but also kind of normal for her, but still out there. But very, very nice, actually. I don't listen to a lot of Lady Gaga songs, but yeah, I liked it. I liked Abracadabra. It hasn't like stuck in my head or anything yet. I probably need to go listen to it again, but yeah. Anyway, when I first saw that she had a new music video out, it had been 1 day since uploading. Okay. It had 10 million views. 10 million views. She drops a new music video on her YouTube channel and gets 10 million views in 1 day. How? Or is it just like those 10 million people are chronically on YouTube? But I wondered, like, how many of those 10 million people are actually subscribed and how many are not? That is just insane. In 1 day, one singular day, guys, 10 million people supposedly watched the video. It could be that one person could have watched multiple times, but still, it's a lot of people to reach 10 million views. How does that happen? I'm thinking that more people are just on YouTube these days. And that's why it can reach 10 million in 1 day. And it's Lady Gaga. I mean, she's world famous. Previously, now this is another thing that I saw. Previously, it took some years. Like, if you look at Gangnam Style, it took some years for, like, popular music videos like Gangnam Style. I think that has like 1 billion views now. To reach the billion view status, the 1 billion status. And it has not been that long since Rosie's APT or Apatsu has been out. It already has 1 billion views, guys. And I am thinking, this is my speculation, is that more people are just on YouTube these days. And previously, the reason it took so long for a video to reach 1 billion is because not a lot of people, a lot of people were on YouTube, but not a lot of people were on YouTube enough to reach the 1 billion status in like a couple months. I think it's the YouTube space has really changed. More people are just chronically online. And especially since the pandemic, I think even more people are now chronically online. It's become like the norm to be chronically online. So now it's very easy for a popular music video to reach the 1 billion status. I wouldn't be surprised if Lady Gaga's Abracadabra reached 1 billion status very soon. It's possible. It's possible that it will. So, anyway, those are some random things. Gear change, mental gear change. I don't even know what that means. Let me talk to you about my book. So I have a book out. Yeah, apparently I'm an author now. That's crazy to think that I've been a writer, author, like calling myself an author for so long. And now I'm actually an author. It's crazy. I was looking at my screen just now. I'm looking at the screen, and if you look at the screen, there's a picture of this snowy field. In the very back, I think I see a person. And I never noticed that before. And maybe my eyes are playing a trick on me, but it does look like there is a person standing right over there. If you look right down the center, there's these two trees that are sort of in the center of the picture. And then the left side tree, when you look at the bark, there's something there that looks like a person. And now I can't unsee it. And I think it is a person. If you think that it's a person, let me know. Tell me in the comments, it's a person, and I'll know what you're talking about. So, okay, let me talk about Between Roses, which is my book. It's a YA portal fantasy. It came out as an ebook last year, 2024, on October 23, which also happens to be my birthday. I thought it was kind of fun to do that. My debut book, actually. I'm really proud of this book because it's come such a long way, and I know it's my book, but I really enjoy reading it. It's weird for me to say that because it's my book, it's my writing, I did this, but I enjoy this book. I enjoy reading it, going through the adventure with the main character, Aaron, over and over again. And I really want you guys to experience that with me. Is that weird to say? So Between Roses, you can see on the screen, I have the ebook version. I also have the picture of what the paperback is going to look like. There's going to be a little bit of difference in the cover, just a teeny bit of difference in the cover. I asked my author name to be moved down a little bit because the space is kind of awkward. But anyway, besides the point. So the paperback is going to come out in March is the aim right now. March 22nd is the aim right now. I can't really say what will happen because I'm a self-published author and I'm doing everything myself, and I'm just going to see how the distribution and all that stuff works out, author copy issues, all the stuff. So anyway, the paperback is going to be out aiming for March 22nd, but we're going to see what happens. It could become April anyway. So this is a portal fantasy, a young adult portal fantasy. The main character's name is Erin Kingsley, and she finds this magical bracelet, and she gets teleported into this crazy world. She doesn't know who she can trust, and she has these powers, apparently, and these mad queens and evil entities after her for her powers, and she's like, I don't know what, I don't have these powers, no way. Um, but anyway, she saves a villain by mistake, and then everything changes after that. The world is inspired by Alice's Adventures in Wonderland world. So I read the original Lewis Carroll books, and I was inspired by that world. So we have that Wonderland setting. Just a few things in that book, like the human human blah blah blah. The human version of the White Rabbit might not be so nice. Or is he? Or isn't he? He's a little bit weird. Can we trust him? I don't know. There is a firepower guy, because of course there is. I like fire elemental powers, because they can be destructive, but they can also be non-destructive. Maybe. I don't know. I like fire powers. So I have a firepower guy in my story. And is he trustworthy? Like, Aaron meets him the first time, and he's like, I am going to take you to the queen. You are going to come with me. And she's like, where are you taking me? What is going on? And then he says, I'm going to kidnap you. And she's like, no, you're not. So later, she saves him by mistake. And then he's like, I think your power can save our world. And she's like, this is not my world. Why should I care? And he's like, you know what? If you help us, I'll help you get home. And she's like, well, I do need help to get home. So she's in a pickle. She's unable to use her powers. Like, she doesn't know how to use her powers. She doesn't feel any different. So it's not like she has like laser beams or things shooting out of her fingers or no tingly magical feeling, nothing. She doesn't feel any different. But somehow the powers activate on their own, and she's like, I don't know how I'm doing this. And she's like, I don't think I'm doing this. And they're like, no, it's you. And she's like, I don't think so. But anyway, she has to figure out her powers. If she's going to help the world and if she's going to get home. So, anyway. Erin is, she's an unlikable character. But does she get better? You'll have to decide that for me. You will. You have to decide. You know, she's unlikable, but maybe you can understand. Maybe you can relate to some things that she says. I don't know. Also, this story is really, it is serious in some parts, but a lot of the parts it's just a fun time. And booktuber Jesse the Reader used this phrase, a fun time, describing a book. I can't remember what the book was. But he described it was a fantasy book, and he described it as it was just a fun time. And sometimes that's enough. This book also has some, Between Roses has some serious moments, but a lot of it is a fun time. Do you want to escape the mundane? Do you want to escape this world that you're living in right now? Because this is a book where you can do that, I'm sure. You can be forced to eat pastries, maybe fly over some trees, meet a snarker snatch. What is a snarker snatch? You'll have to find out. Maybe you want to visit the dollhouse house. What's a dollhouse house? I don't know. You'll have to find that out for me. Also included in this book is poetry. Yeah, I write poetry, and I put some poetry in this book, which is inspired by poems by Lewis Carroll, like The Walrus and the Carpenter. There is a story-like poem in between Roses, which is inspired by The Walrus and the Carpenter. And I was also inspired by The Hunting of the Snark. So, if you aren't a big fan of poetry, well, right, even if you're not a big fan of poetry, this is not like flowery. I cannot understand what the author is talking about type of poetry. It's story time poetry. It follows a story, and it's very, I would say it's easy. It is not like hard stuff for people to get into. If you liked Lewis Carroll's books, you will like this book. So, Alice in Wonderland fans, this is the book for you. This is everything Alice in Wonderland is like stuffed silly into this book, and I thoroughly enjoyed writing it, and so I hope you enjoy reading it. I also thoroughly enjoy reading it, so highly recommend it. I mean, I enjoy reading it, and it's not just because I wrote it. I just enjoy the story, which is crazy for me to think that I enjoy the story because it's my book, because I wrote it, but I can enjoy it objectively, which is very weird for me to say. But anyway, look out for this book in March. But anyway, thank you for letting me promote this book. Thank you for your time. This is the end of the video. Actually, it's not. So I need to talk about projects. This is just me talking, so if you want to be like, okay, I've had enough of listening to Anna just yappy yap, I don't want to listen to her projects, it's okay, you can leave a comment on your thoughts about the Gaiman issue and reindeers flying and about people being chronically on YouTube, and just click off right here. I'm fine with you not watching the whole way through, but I do hope you do watch the whole way through, because you won't find the secret word of this video until the end. And you won't find out about the projects I'm working on. I mean, you want to know if I published a book. Am I going to publish any more books? Don't you want to know that? I think you do, but I mean, I'm not stopping you from clicking off, obviously. I am stopping you. I'm not stopping you. I'm taking a sip of coffee. I'm making all these wild hand gestures and you can't even see me. It's like, when you're talking on the phone with someone, you nod or you make hand gestures into the air and you're like, wait, they can't see me. Anyway. So I'm going to talk about projects. And so this very orangey purpley thing is, I posted this on Instagram. Yes. So I recently finished something here. Right here is pointing. I couldn't find a check mark. I couldn't find a check mark in the shapes and stuff that you can add into a PowerPoint. So I chose a lightning bolt, and I thought, that's close enough. I finished editing a gothic, dark, fantasy, magical realism, written in a literary fiction omniscient style story. I finished editing the plot. As best as I could, because I hired an editor to give me a manuscript critique to find out the strengths and weaknesses of this style so that I can better execute it. So I finished that yesterday, because yesterday was the day that the contract starts. So I finished it yesterday and I sent it to her yesterday. And so I am kind of not burnt out. I am tired of editing. It was exhausting doing it every single day for like 2, 3 weeks straight. Um, my plan, my very ambitious plan at the beginning of the year was actually to do this stuff over here where you see the lightning bolt appear. It says edit DBS and finish by March. What is DBS? DBS, okay, so first I need to say AAD is Alive at Dawn. That's the first book. And the second book, it's a duology, is Dead by Sunrise, DBS. So my plan was to edit, at least I would actually be starting editing. I would be editing DBS now and finish it by March. But I realized something. I realized something today when I was just making this slide today, that I wouldn't be able to do that because I need to wait for my editor to get back to me, and I need to go through some consultations with her about Alive at Dawn, about AAD, because DBS follows the exact same style. And if I am going to figure out how to execute this style in a way that isn't too confusing, I feel like it's confusing, but maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. So far, people who have read this style, like I have another book in the same exact style on Wattpad. It's called The Facade of Quad and Nimrod. It's on Wattpad. Free to read for anyone. It follows the exact same literary fiction omniscient style with multiple POVs, with a narrator character, and no one has really said that it was confusing to follow all these characters, because it's a lot of characters, but it's very, I don't know, no one has really said that they were confused. They've just been reacting to the characters and the story, and they said they've enjoyed it. They found that it was fun or interesting. I've never gotten anyone that says, I don't know what is going on, I am so confused. I'd never gotten that with that story, so I thought, I could execute this, try to see if I could execute this again. Execute it again? Duplicate it? Anyway, so for AAD and DBS, they both follow that same style. So I don't think it's confusing, but it's because I've been in the story that I feel like maybe it's confusing and it's not working, but I don't know. I don't really know. Anyway, because I don't really know until I get critiques back from the editor, I can't move on to DBS. So that means I have to fix this. I have another project that I'm editing. Actually, I have 2 other projects that I'm editing. One is about the survival of a blue feline. A blue bipedal feline. And I initially planned this out that I would finish it by April. That I would finish editing LHSB by April. I think I was thinking that I would start in March and just really focus on editing LHSB in March and finish by April. So I would edit for a month. I would only give myself a month. And the reason I'm only giving myself a month is because this is like the final edit. I mean, it's half a rewrite and half an edit. And I know exactly what I want to have happen in the story. I'm just procrastinating at this point. So I just need to give myself like 1 month, sort of like a 1 month challenge to just finish this. Just finish it. So the option I have until April is, of course, the manuscript of AAD, the evaluation and all that stuff is going to come in. So do that. At the same time, maybe edit this book I'm calling Rat Among Birds. So, this book, Rat Among Birds, begins in the same city that Between Roses, my debut book, begins in. So it's a part of a collection called New Soleil Girls books. So my aim is to, maybe my new goal, my next project is to fix Rat Among Birds. I don't know what situation I left it as, actually. The other option that I have right now, actually, is to start a new project. I mean, not really start a new project. I mean, I have some projects that are half written, so to work on those. So instead of editing that, I would actually write. I feel like I want to write something. Maybe I'll write something short. Says I, who write long stories and cannot write short stories anymore. Maybe I'll write something short, I say. I have this series of books that are like silly books, ideas, just silly ideas. The first one is about how thousands of years into the future, humans decide to use hamsters as currency. So it's a crazy thing that happened in the world. The aim is to have a bunch of little short stories of crazy things that will happen in the world in the future. It's a world that's based on our world as we know it, so there isn't going to be any magic, but there's going to be some weird things that happen, supposedly by science. I'm not a sci-fi writer, so it's going to be all over the place, but that's like the point. Anyway, I am thinking of writing another short story about crazy things that happen in the world in the future. So that could be something that I do. I also need to finish my poetry collection. Yeah. So anyway, I have my work cut out for me, I guess. So, those are my projects. The aim actually is to publish another book this year. I mean, I am going to publish the second edition of Between Roses, which is the paperback. It's going to have some very wonderful and nice and great illustrations in it. My plan is to have another book out this year, in whatever that is. Maybe it's the one about the hamsters becoming currency. Maybe. I am hoping to have AAD up on Ream. Do you know Ream? Not many people know Ream, I don't think. Ream is like it's like Patreon, but for books and authors only. So you go there and then you can get a subscription and get books, chapters released to you, or you can read for free. Authors can choose to provide the book for free for anybody to read, or for people subscribed to their channel, their place, their Ream to read. So my aim is to have AAD mostly for free on Ream, maybe all free, haven't decided yet. And then DBS will be maybe chapter by chapter. Probably depends on how AAD does, like how many people are interested in AAD and then also interested in reading the sequel. Anyway, that's going to be the situation with the projects. Thoughts? I don't know. So that's the end of the video. I feel like it was a very long video. That's because there was a bit of like a discussion-y kind of part, and yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about the Gaiman situation. Be civil, be nice, be kind to people, be respectful. There are some very, very terrible allegations. Terrible as in the situation is terrible, not the allegations, but situation. Oh my gosh. It's just, as I said, I will link Cindy's video in the description because I think it was a really good overview of what's going on. Warning that it's graphic. And then maybe some links to some of the videos that I watched, the various perspectives that people have had about the situation. People who are fans, people who aren't fans, particularly people who have never read the book. I've watched a few, so if I can remember which ones I've watched, probably find it in my history or something. I'll link them in the description, and you can go and figure things out yourself as well. Let me know your thoughts, what you think. Why do reindeers fly? And do you think there are more people chronically on YouTube than ever before, especially because of the pandemic? I would like to know. And Between Roses, yeah. So if you can't wait for the paperback to come out, you can go and get the ebook wherever you get your ebooks. And yes, so yeah, the ebook, also Amazon, Barnes & Noble, various other places as well. Kobo, yes. So anyway, you can go and get the book. The ebook version doesn't have any illustrations, and there are a few differences in the book, but it's not like glaring differences in the book. Also, the acknowledgement section is different between the ebook and the paperback. Anyway, so the paperback possibly coming out in March, hopefully March 22nd, but I don't know what will happen. So anyway, keep an eye out for that. And I have projects. Yeah. So the secret word, secret phrase at the end of this video, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. And the secret phrase is snow backwards is ones. Yeah, that's it. So that's it for the video. Please keep hydrated and hope you have a lovely rest of the day. You will hear me in the next video. The fox is out.